All right,
My
take
pleasure.
away.
Woo! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
How many people have broken a New Year resolution already?
Didn't say.
Didn't set any. I drove past the gym twice this week.
Don't make those resolutions.
I didn't make a resolution, I just drove past the gym twice. Looking to see who else is out there. So there's one guy in the car, he's sitting there like this, eating, and I'm like, he's not going in. He's not going in. I just drove by just to see what was going on. But I didn't make any New Year's resolution this year. Drank a lot of champagne though. That was good. New Year's Day. So I did make a resolution that every month I would, on the first of every month, I would drink champagne and celebrate my accomplishments for the last month. Come on in, welcome. Up top, boom. So I did make a resolution, but not a real, I'm going to change the world by losing 44 pounds. But I will celebrate last month's accomplishments with a bottle of Asti Piemonte. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We've got a full house today, which is good. So, as a CEO, as this group is about building CEOs, right? So we're all CEOs, whether you work with a company, if you're in a company, if you own your own business, if it's a side hustle, we are all CEOs of us, of me incorporated, right? And it's our responsibility to get things done. We don't have to do everything, but we do have to get things done. And so we may have to put on our marketing hat, we may have to put on our sales hat, we may have to put on our schmoozer's hat. There you go, hello, I need something done. And then we're bartering back and forth, and Alec, can you help me with this? And Mike, can you help me figure out what's this ID10T? What does that mean? And only people in the tech world know what that is when they do an ID10T, but that's when they call you an idiot. Right to your face. You're like, oh, you got an ID10T. That's gonna cost you $3,000, right? But that's what we do as CEOs of Me Incorporated. Come on in, come on in. So the question is, how do you get everything done? Come on in. That's it. How do you get everything done without losing your mind and trying to be perfect? Right? We've seen people who have tried to be perfect. All right, and I'm going to give you this analogy. Perfect night. It's Friday afternoon, Friday evening. The kids are at a slumber party. Your spouse is at the mall getting you a gift. You're in the house is clean. There's food in the fridge, and there's chips in the pantry. You go into the pantry, you open up the door, and you see it, barbecue flavor. Oh, who doesn't love barbecue flavored chips? Doesn't matter what it is. We all like barbecue. So you take out the family-sized barbecue chips, and you're standing there in the pantry door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you know it, you're down to half a bag, right? And you're like, oh, all right, well, hands. You start wiping your hands off. But then you take another one, and now you're down to 2 chips. Family's not here, so nobody knows you've eaten this whole bag. So you might as well eat the 2 extra chips that's in the bag, right? When you got to that point where it was really good, and you felt, that's excellence. And it just got to that little part where you're like, you know what? I think I've overextended, but yeah, this is good. That's excellence. When you finish the whole bag, that's perfection. And perfection is not good. Perfection is not good. When you get to that point where you've just eaten a whole bag of family-sized barbecue chips, that's perfection. When you sit there and do the project and you write the code again, and let me change this design, or let me add something, and you keep adding and don't let the world see what you're doing, that's perfection. And that stress will kill you on the inside. And as CEOs, you know what stress can do to you. You know, you don't want to do anything, or you just get so caught up and laser focused here that you miss the beauty of everything. We once had a conversation in this very room about the paint, and how a painter would come into this room and see this room where the lights are and where the shadows are, and him decide how to paint the room. And then a plumber would come in and see this room and say, oh, well, that pipe that's going over the top is in the wrong place. And then an electrician would come and say, well, there's not enough plugs. And they're looking in this room for the plugs, right? But if you're such a perfectionist, a painter would come in this room and only see where there's one spot missing, where that one spot didn't get taken care of. This rest of the wall could be 99% taken care of, be perfect. But that one spot, they'll stress. They'll stress about it. And that's what perfectionists do. They stress about one thing instead of the beauty of the whole project, this whole room. They're like, oh, well, I could do this better. And they scrap the whole thing instead of just fixing that one thing, put it out to the world, let people come in and say, oh, I think you got a spot, I can take care of that for you. Let me help you. Perfectionists don't let people help them. And as CEOs, we need help, right? Yes. We can't do it by ourselves. We know we can't do it by ourselves. So, let me give you the definition. So, perfectionist is a disease of the mind. Repeat after me. Being a perfectionist is a disease of the mind. It is a disease of the mind because it holds you back from letting the world see your joy, from letting the world see your creation. And a person who strives for excellence lives by a set of principles that allow them to keep moving forward, and getting things done. So, do you want to be a perfectionist, or do you want to be to strive for excellence? They're close. They're really close. But when you know to put down the chips, that's when you strive for excellence. You know to put down the chips. Here, Windows. We were just talking about Windows 10. Imagine if Bill Gates never put out Windows, and we would never get to Windows 10. Right? You'd never get that, what feedback? You need the feedback to keep growing. You had a student just graduated out. She took all the principles that you said, but now I know what doesn't work. Let me go back. And so now she's coming back. It's the same thing. Now you strive for excellence. You gave her a set of principles that she can use, but she knows that if I need to go to that next level, I need more feedback. Windows 1 would have been just sitting there like this. No Vista? No Windows Vista? Oh man, we would never got Vista.
That would have been okay.
We would have never got Vista. But if you don't put it out, it can't grow. It can't get better. Because you only have so much space. You only have so much creativity. 1 + 1 is 1 with you. But it's 1 plus somebody else. It's 3. Right? So 1 plus, now we got a brand new idea. My idea, your idea. Now we've got a new idea. 1 + 1 is 3. And you think about it like that, it's like, get it to that point where it's great or it's good. Get it out to the world and then make it better. Oh, great idea, Alex. I think I see what you're saying. If I put this in red, it's going to highlight the yellow and people will see it on the highway. Perfect, thank you. And you put it out, you're like, oh, it worked. What about putting it with a black toner or a black banner? I see what you're saying, Jason. That makes sense as well. Let's do that. And you try it. And if you don't try it, guess what happens?
Doesn't get done.
Nothing happens. Doesn't get done. If you don't put it out there, nothing gets done. Right? It reminds me of a story. A young man named Peter and another young man named Eric. Now, Peter was school jock. He was good. He was a big guy. He was really into his physique and making people feel a little less than what they were because he had this big body, right? He worked out. And Eric was a little slim guy. Wasn't fast, wasn't buff, but Eric had a rule that he lived by. Left foot, right foot, always do your best. Peter, his was win, 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 no matter what. That was his song. Win, 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 no matter what. So he was a perfectionist, right? Peter, perfectionist. Eric, who strove for excellence. So one day, these two guys, Peter said to him, I'll challenge you to a race. Peter said, challenge you to a race. And Eric said, okay, where are we running to? We're going to run to the Walmart. So they said, okay, let's go. Peter ran up. Peter was, because he was a perfectionist, he got distracted, right? So he stopped. He stopped at the Walmart. coffee, got a Sizzler sandwich. Then he came down to the 1910 William Street and had some great food in the corner. But Eric just kept walking. Past the Wawa. Tell him I said hi. That's Peter right there. It's like, where did he go? So he keeps walking. And so Eric now all of a sudden looks at his watch. He's like, oh man. And he looks down the road and he sees Eric right at the Walmart. And he says, oh no. And he starts running. Tries to catch up. But at this time, Eric had just kept left foot, right foot, always do your best. Left foot, right foot, always do your best. And win, no matter what, the money on my mind. And he's running, and Eric turns around and says, sucker. He called him a sucker. Because he went off and he was focused on something else instead of staying focused in that lane and just striving for his best. That's what Eric was doing. But Peter got distracted. So the principles that Eric was using was consistency and flexibility. Just kept walking. Didn't change. Just kept moving in the right direction, moving towards your goal. If you keep moving towards your goal and asking for help, what's going to happen?
You gotta get there.
Gotta get there. Now, success leaves clues, right? So if you're consistent, you're going to have a quality product. Anybody ever been to Chick-fil-A?
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else in the country? Have you anybody gone down to Atlanta and had Chick-fil-A?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever gone to North Carolina and had Chick-fil-A? It's the same Chick-fil-A. It's amazing.
It is.
It's amazing. People have withdrawals on Sunday like this. No Chick-fil-A. What day is it, Mom?
Right.
It's Sunday. No Chick-fil-A. No nuggets. What about McDonald's? As inconsistent they are, you know that if you need great French fries, you gotta go to McDonald's. The Ritz-Carlton. Anybody ever been to the Ritz-Carlton? Spent the night? Their level of excellence is right here. But they make mistakes. And then they correct the mistakes and try not to make those mistakes again. Shouldn't we be doing that same thing? If the Ritz-Carlton and Chick-fil-A, please, thank you, see you again. My pleasure. People only go to Chick-fil-A for the way they feel when they come out the drive-thru, not for the food. They're like this. They got bags and bags of Chick-fil-A in the back seat. They just wanted somebody to say thank you and please. But they're consistent with that. And you know what that builds? Trust. I know that if I go to Chick-fil-A and I give them a $10 bill and my food costs $6.58, I'm getting 48 cents and $3.48 back. But I'm also getting that feeling that you see me, it's not just food, it's a relationship. Please and thank you. You got 16-year-old kids saying, hey, my pleasure. Love to see you next week. Bye. Up and down the country. My brother comes down from New York every once in a while. And that's the first thing he says, can we go to Chick-fil-A? Because they don't have it there. So when he comes down, the waffle fries just put him in a drunken stupor. We were going out, but he's like, no, just more chicken fries. Just more waffle fries. Right? But it's consistent. So consistency, your level of excellence is based on your consistency. Consistency will lead to quality, a stable relationship, but more importantly, trust. And we're in the business of trust. We're in the customer service business. It doesn't matter what you sell. We're all in the customer service business. That's it. And when you think like that, and you say, well, I've got to be consistent and raise my level of customer service, because you're battling Disney, high quality. You're battling Chick-fil-A, high quality, and Vegas. When you come back from Vegas, do you not feel like they know me? I am somebody. You come down the elevator. Oh, Alex, you're rum and coke, sir. How did they know I drank rum and coke? Only on the profile that you gave them earlier in the week. But you put the little card in the elevator when you came downstairs. They had your rum and coke ready for you. You didn't do anything special. But they made you feel special when they call you by first name. Mm-hmm. Right? So what we got. Morgan, how are you today?
Excellent.
Welcome to the team. Nancy, how you feeling?
Great.
Doing great. Mike, is there a better day than a rainy Tuesday in January?
It's good as it gets.
It's as good as it gets, right? This is the thing. You call somebody by their name, And you have a conversation with them. Great to see you. Consistently. But I gotta be consistent with your name. I can't call you Susie, right?
That would be my sister.
That would be your sister. You look just like your sister. Where's Susie? Now I'm gonna call you Susie. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's all good. Everybody calls me Joy as it is.
Joy.
Right.
Joy. It's all good.
I know. It's because you bring so much.
Bring joy. It's just like little rainbows coming out of your cup of tea,
I try.
out of your glasses. so consistency, quality, stable, and trust. And then we move on to the flexibility. That's when you hand it out to the world. You can't be attached to your work. You got to do it. Do the project for somebody else, right? Mike, if you go to somebody else's office, you can't be attached to their computers, right? You go in, fiddle, do what you need to do, add, boom. And you say like this, that'll be $3,000, please. Vista 10 is now loaded on your program. And you walk away. You're detached from the result. You have to be attached to the process, but detached from the results so that you can walk away. Otherwise, it's like, nah, this is my phone. This is my piece of paper. I'll be back tomorrow. Doesn't work like that. You do the work and you let it go. And if they say, hey, Jason, can you do me a favor? Can you come back and talk a little bit more about trust? Sure, love to. You let them go into the world. You let the little bird fly into the world.
Right.
And they come back. Because you fed them once. And when you feed the children one time, they come back. They keep coming back.
Yes, they do.
It's true, right? So consistency, quality, stableness, and trust. Flexibility. What comes out of flexibility? Being detached, because you know that this is not about me, it's about 1 plus 1 equals 3. Right? That's the detachment, because it's a new idea. You want to always get to that new idea. Take this seed, put it in the ground, water it, it's a new thing. That's what we're trying to do every single day. Sometimes it takes more than 1 day. Sometimes the project takes a little while. But you want to be detached from the results, but be attached to the process. And if you don't have a process, you can't get to the result. You'll just figure out, you'll get there one day, but then you won't know how to get back there. You didn't leave enough crumbs on the floor for yourself. Success leaves clues. So you got the detachment and adaptability. Because now when I give it out to the world, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Right? Imagine if Vista was different and people used it in a different manner.
If it actually worked.
If it actually worked. Right? But I keep going back to Vista because they put it out there. They knew it wasn't good. There wasn't at a high level of excellence there, but they needed to put out a new product. Right? So they put it out and see what the world said. So when they put it out to the world, this one didn't work. And sometimes things don't work. Right? Sometimes you have a favorite child and then the other one. But sometimes the other one grows into your favorite child because you have to invest time with them and you're like, all right, let's go. Let's go to the baseball park. Let's go basketball. Let's go do this. Let's go drive a car with no seatbelt. But sometimes you have to invest. Put it out there and see what happens and invest. All right? So excellence is where you want to go. You want to be excellent. People want to know you because of your excellence, before you even say a word. It's like, you know what? I like Danella. She always has excellent shoes on. I love shoes. As a guy, I see those shoes, I'm like, those are amazing. I wish I could wear them. In a flat. All right, so last thing. I want to wrap this up because this is almost 9 o'clock and it's Friday. Tuesday, we got things to do. Perfection is a disease of the mind. Excellence is a set of principles we live by so that we can live at a high and perform at a high level. My name is Jason Whiteman. This is the Building CEOs workshop that concludes every Tuesday morning. Thank you for giving me 15, 20 minutes of your time to teach and to engage and be a part of your life. I hope this resonates with you. And please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Leave a comment wherever you are. Leave a comment. All right? Enjoy the day and find a way to be excellent. Find your own set of principles to be excellent. And feel free to give me a buzz and I'll look forward to helping you in the future.
Well done.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. What we didn't